Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's reading is going to be, this evening's reading is going to be their thoughts, their feelings, and the words that they left unsaid. So you've got to, in your mind, think of maybe your last meeting or some particular meeting that's very prominent in your mind. You've got three choices as usual. I made these. I'm so proud of myself. You've got the little house, you've got a snail, and you've got a toucan. That is a toucan. So if you want to make your choice, and then we'll get going. Hi everyone, I'm going to start this again because I started talking complete rubbish, not bits of it, just complete rubbish. Your person, I think, has come into your last get together or the last situation that's significant in your mind with, I'm guessing, like, I couldn't get these words out. It's like a, I'll go again, like a do or dare or die feeling. You've got the 8th house and Uranus, and that is, it feels, I'm going to say car crash, and this has got nothing to do with your situation. This is why I switched it off last time. It's got more to do with how I interpret 8th house Uranus in my chart. I always think quick death. This has got nothing to do with your situation, but it does feel as if it's dangerous. It feels as if it's teetering on the edge, and it feels as if it's teetering on the edge of toppling into something that is unconventional in a conventional situation. This is what I'm thinking. You're coming across as a 6 of Pentacles, very measured. You're possibly in a work situation, or your life is very much set out in a, I'm going to follow this path. I don't know this. I'm going to be just as mum and dad expected me. Everything's balanced. Everything's fine. And then this person is in your life. So I don't know whether it's somebody extra in your life or it's just somebody different in your life. That Uranus could just be somebody unconventional. It could be somebody who's from like a different country or different culture, a different age group. There's something in this that is different and daring. And they have come in with a blank slate into this last situation or in your relationship altogether. And the 6 of Pentacles with you, you've come into with a very stable attitude. And to be totally honest, I'm trying to be really, not really blunt, but really honest. It's like the 6 of Pentacles is not like to me in this pile here, is not like stable. Yeah, to me it feels like there's going to be lots of weights in this. It feels like stable and you're ready to be pushed. You know, you're ready to rock the boat a little bit. It's like you've lived a little bit too long being nice. And this pile makes me think that there's somebody pushing you to possibly do something that you may want to do that may not be approved of by outsiders. Just a feeling here. I haven't actually weeded my way through this. This person, I think, is probably, regardless of what I've just said there's something quite stable about them. Maybe there is something stable about the pair of you. There's something, this may be a boss figure. This may be somebody who holds down what would conventionally or which would be seen as a good job. You know, the King of Pentacles there, you know, could be good dad, good job, good citizen. And the 9 of Pentacles there makes me think that they're happy with who they are. You know, that gives a slight independence feeling to the Uranus there. But the 5 of Swords down here, it feels as if your meeting could be one of those meetings where neither of you are backing down in some small way. It's not a huge feeling. It's almost like I'm going to see if they like me before I reveal myself to them, that type of thing. And it feels as if it's gone a bit back and forward, as if you're looking at each other and each one's wondering whether which one feels the most before they, you know, it's like a bit not vulnerable, but almost you don't want the other one to get one up because you're not quite sure yet. It feels as if it's like feelers being put out before you start revealing. Now, this person's feelings for you in your last meeting are, you know, when you meet somebody and they just feel right, and it's a very strange feeling. You know, sometimes you could be doing anything, you don't expect to meet this person, and then you're talking to them and something they say, somewhere they look at you, it's like they're in the middle of this, because you've got this sort of everything's okay to begin with. It's almost in the middle of the conversation, the middle of the get together, they've started to realise that they're really attracted to you. This, again, I did a reading of the day. It's not like somebody walks through the door and it's like, wow. This is you're doing something and the attraction starts building. There is an air of danger here with the Uranus, the 8th house. You've got the 7th sword and the 8 of cups regards their feelings to you. It feels as if they have to do something that is they're either in a rush and they've got to move on. The 7 of swords and 8 of cups could be the particular feelings in that situation where they feel as if, you know, you are like ships that are passing. It's like a quick get together. It is Boris Becker in the broom cupboard. It very much could be Boris Becker in the broom cupboard. I don't think they got married. Uranus in the 8th house, 7 swords, 8 of cups. It could be a quick get together. And with that Jupiter card there, it could literally be a quick, very close get together. So their feelings for you could be not indiscreet. It could be indiscreet. Trying to think of a big posh word for it. It's not undisciplined, but it could be that too. It's something like indiscretion. No, it's not indiscretion. I don't know, quick, dirty, sexual. That type of thing is what I'm thinking. I can't actually think of the word. It could be all those rolled into one. Because the Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune, it's like seeing somebody and almost being taken away with it. Because that Jupiter card is not like suppressed sexuality. Jupiter basically they say what they want to and they act on what they want to. You know, if there's nothing they're barring them, they're like horses. Oh, the 7 of swords and the 8 of... Sorry, that is quite insulting, I'm sure. Not really. I don't know, I actually do believe that. I have quite a few Sagittarius friends and they are my best friends because they just are who they are. But the 7 of swords and 8 of cups there regards their feelings towards you. It's like a sneaky quick one. And the 8 of cups is like, I'm going to have to move away quick. I'm sorry, I can't get Boris Becker's broom cupboard out of my head here. And the things they might want to say to you, possibly here, could be something like, there are 2 scenarios I'm thinking at the moment. I will go back and go through the other cards in a minute, but the is either my life's very stable, that was fantastic, or you are fantastic, I don't know how we're going to get it to work. You are the ideal lover, because you've got the Lovers, the Moon, the 4 of stencils. Or it could be even something like, I can't fit this in my life because of a work situation. You know, it's all in our imagination if we think this is going to work, but we could possibly get together for a little get together. I don't really know yet, to be honest. To be honest. I don't know if this feels right. Okay, let me go through it. Again. Now I've just weeded my way through the cards. You're coming out as a Rosh Cash. I've learned how to say that. So many people have told me. They're coming out of the Rosh Cash test. You're coming out of the 6 of Pentacles. They're coming into this situation without any expectations. The 6 of Pentacles, you're coming in very measured. But it feels to me with Uranus in the 8th house there that you're being measured. But it feels like you're about to be pushed outside of your comfort zone. Their thoughts with regards to you are ones of stability, of almost like them taking, I guess they're taking the upper hand. They've got this sort of confidence about them, as if they are very present in the world, as if they own the space they're in. And the Five of Swords there next to this feeling of being very much boss energy here. Not boss as in Emperor energy, but boss as in I'm used to holding my own, literally, probably. And the Five of Swords here is I'm going to maintain that. I think I'm going to maintain this. And that's what they are actually thinking in the relationship when you got together in this particular situation, sorry. Now, their feelings, the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Swords, Eight of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune makes me think of like meeting somebody and that moment being exactly the right time. It also makes me think of possibly a karmic bond, and it makes me think of possibly being Jupiter, of a very sort of untamed sexual attraction. But the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Cups makes me think of speed with that Uranus in the 8th house, speedy sex. It makes me think of the Seven of Swords, makes me think of... let's get to it, let's get going. And the Eight of Cups there is I'm going to have to run. I'm going to have to go after this. So this honestly feels like a quick get together with somebody who's outside your comfort zone. I don't know, this won't be, this is so specific, it might not be true, it maybe just feel right for a few of you. The Four of Stencils and the Moon there, the Four of Stencils is stability, and there's this man who's very much in his business suit, like the King of Pentacles, holding onto the money, and the Moon is basically, with the upturned down Cinderella, is a feeling of illusions, that particular moment where it felt quite right, or being turned upside down. The Four of Stencils again is, I think, trying to maintain the status quo, which this person has started off with in the beginning. So it feels like it doesn't have to be intimate, but it is intimate. If it doesn't have to be sexually intimate. It could just be sort of a big impact, a big impact. 8th house there in Uranus. Something, this person has rocked your boat in this meeting. And what they wish they would have said, and you've got the Lovers at the end, what they wish they would have said, I have to maintain my stability, although either that was fantastic or you're my ideal partner. The Lovers there. But it's almost like, don't think I can go, yeah. The Moon with Cinderella upturned here is illusion, and the Four of Pentacles is stability. If there's something there that I guess they're trying to say, like, if you think this can fit in my life at the moment, I can't actually do it. The Lovers, I don't know for what reason. It could be for earning a wage, it could be for some other reason. It's like something like work's taking them in a different way, where they're trying to be stable, and I don't want to pull the wool over your eyes. But the Lovers is like, look at them too. Ideal, ideal partner. And there is a sexual feeling. I can't deny that there with the 8th house and Uranus there. The 8th house and Uranus with regards to, it's huge. It is sex. 8th house can be sex. Uranus is very much excitement. You often case, if this is like especially a first situation, that's a huge attraction. But it feels as if the shock value isn't at the beginning. It feels as if the shock value, with the wheel here being like the major arcana in the middle, rather than at the beginning, it feels as if it's like when you are actually, I get like this won't account for any, I can say anybody, many people. It feels to me as in this, change this to your situation. You could possibly be doing something very mundane. This, Voshkash chest could be, they didn't expect it either, maybe. Doing something very mundane, very normal, and it's like the tension starts building with the Wheel of Fortune there. It starts becoming slightly sexual, and within that, it doesn't have to be anything that's actually done. It could be just a feeling of, electrical energy, the Uranus there in the 8th house in the air, where it feels extremely tense. And the 7 Swords and the 8 of Cups is like it's had to be broken off in some way. So you could be in a group situation where you're both feeling it, and other people start noticing. And the 7 of Swords, the 8 of Cups is like movement away. So their feelings possibly towards you at this time could be this feels quite intense. I wasn't expecting to feel this. I'm coming across as trying to be, my thoughts with regards to you as trying to be very self-contained and also self-maintained, because there is this feeling here of not letting you get one up. Not in a power play sort of way, but it's more like that's their identity. Their identity is the safe one, the calm one, the one that provides, the one that's independent. And then you're coming here and you've started a conversation, you've started to get together, then their feelings start rumbling. Their thoughts are very normal, their feelings start off normal possibly, and then start becoming electric. It's the pull, I think, happens in the middle of this meeting. And then their feelings, then their feelings towards you are almost like, I've got to stop this. This has to end because it's too much. Possibly other people around you, but definitely to do with some situation where they feel it's not the correct time for you to carry on in their life. The Four of Pentacles, the moon there is almost saying, if they had something to say to you, it was like, don't become disillusioned by this contact, because you're going to have to take it easy. The Four of Stencils, there's got to be some stability for this to move forward. And at the moment, it's like it's early. I'm going to say early doors. What's that? What is that saying? Early? It's not early doors. No, let's just say early doors. Let's just make that up. It's early doors. Okay. So, to summarise, pile number 1. Does that make that sound as if it's going to be really interesting? Pile number 1. Their thoughts, their feelings, and what they left unsaid last time you got together were, their thoughts were self-maintenance, appearing in control, and not in an over-controlling way, just in a, this is who I've lived being up to now, and I'm going to maintain that, and then not letting you shift. It's like somebody who has had the feelings for you in this meeting, and it started shifting, and they've tried to maintain the fact that they're not affected by it. The Seven of Swords and the Eight of Cups to me is either a sexual act with the Uranus and the 8th house here, and with somebody who's very different from their usual type of person, or your usual type of person. I don't know which way it goes here. Possibly you. This person could be older, could be different culture, different race, different country, just something different from your usual type. And it feels as if it's, with that Uranus in the 8th house, it's quick. Their feelings are, well, hey, either let's do this quick, or, oh my God, this person's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to have to remove myself from this situation. And what they would like to say to you is that there is something with regards to them that they need to maintain who they actually are, who they come across. And they're asking you to basically, although you seem absolutely perfect to them with the Lovers card here, the Moon card here is not to be taken away by your your thoughts and your emotions. It's to go back to your Six of Pentacles here and just see what is actually there rather than what you want to be there. And probably that goes for both of you. And those feelings towards you and their feelings towards themselves are very much maintain the status quo. Maintain the status quo. But, if you get rid of this one, these two here, and you just have the feelings here with the 8th house and Uranus, their feelings towards you are, I would guess, like a Venus-Uranus contact, where it feels as if it's overexciting. And I've given this scenario, probably months and months ago, and I know I have to stop talking about my family because somebody texted the other day or put a message and said, do your family know that you talk about them? The main source of, people that I've watched and what's happened and been able to look at their charts, although I have been looking at the Olympics today, and wow, that was interesting, looking at people's charts. Anyway, my sister-in-law met my brother in a shack in Chamonix or somewhere in France on a ski holiday, and she said, Sagittarius moon lady, she said as soon as she saw him, he was there in his tracksuit pants, Sagittarius rising man, and she said she felt as if she actually was picked up, and she's because my brother, and thrown against the back wall. It was like the contact was so powerful, it felt like it chucked her back. This is this person's feelings for you, because you have got Uranus in the 8th house, so that is huge. And a lot of the time it's attraction. I would guess it's attraction because it has like Uranus Venus feel. The wheel there is like a karmic feel, which is exactly what she felt. She felt like, you know, it's immediate. Couldn't locked eyes on him. He said he wasn't that bothered at the time. He said he didn't really notice her. She told me he must be lying. Anyway, the 7 of Swords and the 8 of Cups, going back to this very sort of steady personality from him as well as you, is like they're just trying to pretend it's not happened, pretend the attraction isn't there. There is, and I've said it about 4 times now, there is possible indication that you may have acted on this attraction very quickly. Uranus does things quickly, and that is basically Boris. Oh, I love Boris. 4 of Stencils and the Moon here. What they would have said is, you know, this could also be like a holiday romance feeling. 2 people are very stable. The 4 of Stencils here is remember what we can actually do in reality. It does honestly feel like a Venus, Uranus, overexciting, falling in love with somebody at first sight and still trying to maintain the fact that they're in control. Lovely spread. But it's difficult to know, because my feelings still are there that you're the one that's basically, you know, they're shaken by the initial impact of the attraction, but the 6 of Pentacles there with regards to who they are as a person, even though they're coming across with these sort of cards, you know, their thoughts are trying to maintain this sort of pentacle energy of, you know, pentacles don't give much away. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, unshakable in many ways, especially in love. It's like, yeah, I can sort of like, it's like a tap dripping. It's like they sort of like seep into your skin rather than Uranus, 8th house energy. So there's not that sort of, this person's fighting it because it's not in their nature. It's not in their usual repertoire of lessons in love, I suppose. I'm going to make that up. So what would they like to say is, if you can think of 3 very sensible reasons, 6 of Pentacles lady, 6 of Pentacles man, those are the reasons we can't be together. So make sure that you don't basically run away with this because we're both in the same boat with this. It's like there is stability there, but there's also a desire from both of you to actually ride the imagination unicorn and just get lost in it. But the attraction is big in this one. Okay, a bit stumbly there, pile number 1, but that's what I'm getting. I should have, yeah, I feel like I flicked in between, but it's interesting. Big attraction, stable personalities. Can we make this work? Remember what we know, what situation we're both in. Thank you very much for spending time with me. I'm going to go now. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. This one's really easy to read because honestly, it's like, regardless of your sex, it's like, hey, hot mama, I'm going to get you. It really is. You've got them coming across as the lovers with the 12th house. So somebody who feels deeply, deeply in love, maybe doesn't say anything, but there's a lot of imagination going there. This person has basically... can't say that on air. I can't on air. Oh my God, Con Air, my favourite film. That's not my favourite film. They have basically had you in their head before they've actually spoken to you, if you know what I mean. The lovers and the 12th house is somebody that has a very rich imagination and is very dreamy with regards to how they approach relationships. But you have got in the middle here for their feelings incredibly sexual cards. You've got the King of Wands, you've got the Ace of Wands. That's somebody who has a big hat chitty chow chow for you here. And the Four of Wands down here is like they want to dance. You know, there is a bit of a sexual dance going on here. I'm not very good with this, am I? I'm not very good with the sexy bits. The King of Wands, the Ace of Wands is like huge sexual energy, and it's somebody with their feelings towards you is a feeling of not being able to control those feelings. It's like somebody that's almost talking to you and growling at the same time. And the Four of Wands there is some, crawling along the floor. It is, there's a thing, I'm just thinking, here's what I think of that's got on 4 things, and I'm thinking of somebody crawling on the floor. Feels like some film. Really does. This image of like some sort of chalet with some very sort of rampant man or woman on all fours crawling towards you along sheepskin rugs, growling. Now, I will go back and I will erase that in your head in a minute once I've gone through the rest. Their thoughts towards you, the Queen of Wands and the Magician. Again, it just is something like excitement, getting things moving. It's like, it needs to happen, it needs to be exciting, and I'm going to make it happen. And the Death card here is, I don't even care if the circumstances fit. I've fantasized about this. This is my daydream. This is my every dream, waking or asleep, and I'm gonna make it happen. Venus is attraction. Now, you're coming across as caution in this, so I'm often wondering, since I've started this, I'm often wondering whether this person's too much for you. The way that they're coming across could be a little bit over amorous in some way, because what they would like to say, the 7 of brushes is like, run kitty, quick go, because I'm coming. And the ace of buckets is the Ace of Cups, and the 4 of buckets here is they want to declare what they are feeling with the Ace of Cups there. And the 4 of buckets, I don't think they think that it's going to be reciprocated, because you're coming across as caution. I think you've been playing quite cool. This person feels to me as if they're coming across, it feels, the Lovers there in the 12th house, it feels like, and I've said this many times before, it's like a Pisces Aries pile, where there's that daydreamy falling in love alongside a very strong sex drive. And that Venus is, you have floated their boat with regards to the way that you talk or express yourself, or the way that you dress. And it's been exactly what they've been dreaming about in some way. This is a really sort of yes pile to me. And I would think you would know this already. This reminds me of when you're young and you're coming out of clubs that like really, when you go abroad and you're coming out of clubs at 3 or 4 in the morning and it feels absolutely fantastic, everything's hot. And seeing a guy, and I still remember his name, I'm afraid to say it just in case somebody knows him. His name was James. And it was like a party that was in a castle, and we were coming out, and James was basically leching at lots of people, but he had this, like, I don't know, fiery Leo energy, very much like this, of just enjoying himself. And his friends, and we were all in exactly the same situation, we're trying to get him in a taxi, and he was like running after girls and things, because he had to get on an airplane the next few hours probably, because it was early hours of the morning. This has that feeling. It feels like somebody who has a real sense of adventure and a real love for life and a real fire to get things moving, seeing you being their ideal and not even bothering to try and control it. You shouldn't have had the snail pile. You should have had something else. Not even the house or the toucan. You should have had something far more saucy, I suppose. The Lovers and the 12th house here. To me, this pile is too direct to actually think that they're hiding any of this. The 12th house things are very much hidden. I can't even say what could be hidden here, because you've got the Queen of Wands, you've got the Magician, you've got the King of Wands, you've got the Ace of Wands here, and the 4 of Wands. There's not much hidden in this. The only thing that possibly could be hidden, the Death card, don't even think this, to be honest, is like with regards to their thoughts for you. Once again, it's as if you're like a wake-up call in some way, because this is far too positive for it to be. It's like the end of something else. Maybe what other situation were they in, I don't know. So their thoughts when they saw you are Mamacita. Queen of Wands, the Magician, is like, I want to get this going. That lady, that man is incredibly attractive. The Death card there is, I don't even care what situation I was in before this moment. And it, once again, like pile number 1 is a Venus Uranus of feeling of who is that? What is that? This person may be very romantic, but there is a definitely fiery or earthy strong sex drive in this person. The King of Wands, with regards to their feelings for you, the Ace of Wands, there's something about you that isn't platonic. There's something about you, the Four of Wands, and it could be you look fun. There's no other way. Queen of Wands there, all these Wands cards, girls dancing, sexual feelings, you just look fun. So what would they like to say to you? There is a feeling here of, if I'm too much for you, because you're coming across as caution here, but Venus is, there's like something very beautiful about you. I wonder if you appear as like some, you can't be that mysterious. You possibly could be. If you're coming across as Venus and caution, and this person's coming across with very sort of fiery instincts, very sort of earthy instincts, base instincts, attractive, blah, 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 sexual pull. That's all I can think of with the Ace of Wands and the King of Wands here. And I don't think, you've got that lion behind, and my mind's flicking to think, in the Strength card, have they tried to control it? I don't think so. Because their thoughts are open, their thoughts are Queen of Wands, the Magician. They're coming up as the Lovers in the 12th house. It's like romance. It's like seeing you and you being like the person that they've been dreaming about, or writing on their pencil case. And then the King of Wands, the Ace of Wands, it's just very physical feel towards you. This is your feeling pan. It's all physical and it's excitement. And what would they like to say? Seven of Brushes is basically, I think you look like you want to run. I've got a lot I need to give you. Can you loosen up a bit? Really is what I was thinking there. Okay. Right, pile number 2, I'm going to start summing you up. I think that you have run into somebody who is very romantic but has a very strong sex drive. I think that you are more cautious, but I think you're one of those people with a Venus there, somebody who's quite quiet. I'm thinking Libra Virgo for some reason, because the person I'm thinking of when I think of caution and Venus, who is hugely attractive, is a Libra Virgo person. Incredibly beautiful, high cheekbones, looks like... I'm not sure the correct terms, but to me, and I don't mean to insult anybody, but she looks Native American. I'm not sure I'm saying the correct terms there. Absolutely beautiful. And men used to fall for, this is like one of my best friends, used to fall for all the time, and she didn't even know she'd done it. So that is that feeling I think you're coming across as a bit cooler. Regards to their thoughts towards you are straightforward, attraction. I want to get things started. You look exciting. You look one of my kind. I've got the name in excess. What Michael Hutchins would say, yeah, you're one of my kind. The Death card there is two things. Either you're very different from the last person that they were with, or the last situation, or they're prepared to basically put a full stop on some situation in their life that they're in. So this person may have just, finished a relationship, or they would like to change their status quo if they are in a relationship at the moment. Their feelings, and I've said this, I don't think I need to say it again, are physical. It's not somebody, this person doesn't want to talk to you. This person doesn't want to talk to you. Pile number 1 had a very similar feeling. This person wants to... have some sexy time. I don't know what to say. I'm not really that type of person, but this person to say these sort of things, but this person wants to be with you physically. I put it like that. And what they actually would like, what they would like to say to you is, you look like you want to run. Please accept what I've got to give you. There are, Ace of Cups there at the end, amongst all these fiery physical feelings is, I do have genuine feelings for you, but you're not giving me anything, and it's frustrating me. I want to play. It honestly feels like a tomcat, this person. Does feel like James getting dragged into the taxi by his friends because he's basically being very amorous to passers-by. I'm not saying that, you know, there's just one. Actually, no, it was only one person. He was only being amorous to one person. I was just sort of, I don't know what I'm doing. The 12th house and the death card is probably the only negative thing in here that I would say, you know, and I know that you probably coming across as a little bit more reserved, but the 12th house and the death card regard to their thoughts very possibly could be they may be already in a relationship. You know, the Lover's card is something romantic, but the 12th house is something hidden. The death card is possibly, with regards to their thoughts towards you, is like, I need to finish something before I move on to this person. Or, you know, I don't know which way they're moving on. Are they actually, you know, on all fours crawling across the floor? I don't know, but does have that feeling. I don't think this person's shy. You may be shy, you may be quieter than this person. I'm not saying shy, but you may be one of those people who are like Virgo, Libra type of feeling where, you know, you're very charming, you're very smooth, you're very sort of, I'm going to say politically correct, but I don't mean that. It's, you know when to say the right thing in the right situation at the right time. This person doesn't care about that. This person is more like, it's more fire in it. There could be earth, but to me it just, honestly, King of Wands, Ace of Wands, it feels like fire. This person is burning and is not going to stop until they get what they want. It is a bit like a forest fire. You know, it's funny, isn't it? There's forest fires on the news today, and that looks like, you know, it reminds me of the planes that they basically put the fires out with. I wonder whether this person does feel like you've dampened their flames in some way. There may be something with that caution card there and that Venus. I'm just going to stop my camera because I think it's going to cut out battery. Hold on. I was about to say there is a feeling there with the caution, the Venus, and me mentioning the forest fire, and all these flames in the middle, and it looks almost as if, you know, have you dampened their amorous advances in some way? Because you've got the Seven of Brushes, which made me think, you know, run kitty. The Ace of Buckets here, I initially thought was them trying to express the fact they feel emotions towards you rather than just a sexual desire. The Four of Buckets is not, I'm guessing you haven't reciprocated their advances, but that could honestly mean that you put the damper on their advances. So this, to me, the more I go along, is feeling like some secret liaison relay. Oh my god. I thought I said liaison, but in my mind I said raisin. You may have pushed back some advances, yeah. Some advances here. You look good. Whatever you're doing, you look fantastic, even when you're like, you know, put your hand out and said, like, this isn't going anywhere. That Venus card there. And it feels like, it doesn't feel like you're playing hard to get. It feels like there's two different natures at work here. So I'm just going to go over what they would have said, because I think it's quite clear their feelings and their thoughts towards you. What they would have said is, why not? Really, why not? It's like, why are you not accepting what I'm feeling? To cut it short, why are you not accepting my advances? What's wrong with you? Look at me, I'm fine. That sort of thing. Okay, pile number 2, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that feels right in some way, because that's quite a big pile with regards to, you know, physicality and their physical draw towards you. Physicality. Yeah, that person just looks like he's got the horn in some way. She's got the horn. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. This is so different from the other 2 piles. There is a your toucan pile. By the way, there is a feeling here of Saturn. There's a feeling here of control. There's a feeling here of both It's like animal instincts between the pair of you. Theirs is more controlled than yours. It feels like a Capricorn Sagittarius mix in here. This may be just the energy. It may be part of your charts. It may be some sort of transit that you're going through. But it has a feeling of physical control, and it has a feeling of possibly public standing here. Your person's thoughts towards you are extremely strange. I can't explain them at the moment, but I can tell you what I can see. Perhaps you can help me in deciphering it to see how it fits into your situation. You've got Judgment and you've got the 10 of Swords here. So, and then you've got the Sun. It's like a beautiful ending. You know, what their thoughts towards you are beautiful ending or clarity and ending regards to your last get together. I don't know what that means. What I'm thinking here is, because you've got the 10th house, you've got Saturn, and they're coming across as the 4 of Pentacles here. And that, to me, every time I see that card, it just reminds me of Capricorn. It's a goat on top of the hill. You know, and what do Capricorns do? They take the slow walk to the top of the hill throughout their whole life. They basically do the tried and tested. They work extremely hard. They don't mind going it alone, and they get where they want to be. And it always feels really hard. I really feel sorry for Capricorns sometimes. I'm surrounded by quite a lot of Capricorns in my family. And yeah, and to be honest, when we go through transits, you know, when you go through like a Saturn transit, you know what it feels like to be a Capricorn, and it feels tough. Everything feels like you've got to work hard to get what you want. It feels like it's not giddy, is it? It's not. It's hard work. It slows you down and it makes you feel a little bit older, not just like your knees, probably your knees and your spine, but more in a case of how you have to basically mature to interact in the world. That is not easy. And then the 10th house there makes me think, with regard to their thoughts, there may be something to do with what they have earned in their life, and their public standing may play some part in this Judgment and the 10 of Swords. Are they changing job? You know, their thoughts towards you are, it feels like there's like two options, because those cards are so different. The Judgment and the Sun is like, one is to, they may have to end something. Do you know what I'm thinking? It feels like, you know, like when a puppy's been trapped in a cellar and somebody opens the door and they can see the light and the fresh air. It feels like that, with regard to their thoughts towards you. It's almost like you're some sort of release. For somebody who feels like they have to play the hard game or take knocks to get where they want to go. This isn't somebody, I'm guessing, this doesn't feel like somebody who takes life easy breezy. This is somebody who feels like the harder you work, the more worthy you are. Which is often like, I guess it's some sort of earthy mantra. Which so many Virgos, so many Capricorns around me, you can tell they may not say, but that is what they think. It feels like, you know, that you're more deserving, not just you, I mean them as well, if you put the effort in, which, you know, is part of Saturn, isn't it? So that is part of their personality. So this person, their thoughts towards you have got something to do with like release from restraint. You're coming into their life and it feels like you are, and you're coming across as the Chariot here. So you are like this very sort of animalistic feeling about this, where they're coming across as working towards the top of the hill. The Chariot here is basically, you know, you're just free in a field and running around. So you must have some feeling of excitement and animal energy and directness and clarity and opening up and childlike, being like when you're a kid again. But it's like you are a big shift to get where you are. Their thoughts towards you are very different from them in a very positive way. And they need to pull themselves out of what they're probably used to doing for the last 30, 40, 20 years, I don't know, whatever, to get closer to you. Now, this isn't, unlike the other two powers, a very sort of sexual power. It's like a you're causing their feelings towards you are making them think. There is some feelings of anxiety, and there's some feelings of them not being able to reveal what they actually are thinking and what they are actually feeling. It's as if they're so thrown by this pile here, which has got a lot of Marjorie. Who is Marjorie? That was my nana. A lot of major arcana there. Oh my gosh, my nana. That's weird. With regards to their thoughts, but their feelings are almost throwing me back to their thoughts, as if they can't actually have a feeling. There's nothing sort of... It's a feeling of panic, is what I'm thinking. You've got the Ace of Swords, you've got the Two of Wands, and this person feels like they're overthinking something. And the Two of Wands in this pack in particular is somebody that's not, I suppose the Two of Wands is that anyway, that's not actually involvement in life. There's almost as if they're still, I know this is like an action card, but it's still like they're still thinking about it. And the Eight of Swords is like anxious non-movement. That sometimes they say that, who's they? No, that's not right. I was going to talk about something with some illnesses that somebody may have, so I can't really talk about it in case it's taken the wrong way. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. What they would like to say to you is... This is weird, because you've got these feelings like Eight of Swords here, and next to anxiety, and next to the Seven of Buckets, and this is more what they'd like to have said to you. And you've got this sort of, the Seven of Buckets here is normally, this is a strange card for it, isn't it, really? It's normally choice, and the choice here is between the heart and finances. This person doesn't know how to have emotions. Doesn't feel at ease with their emotions at all. And to be honest, it feels so strong. It almost feels as if it's like, this wasn't the medical condition I was thinking of, but like a condition, that somebody that is has therapy over it, that type of feeling. It's quite a strong feeling. The Sister of Spray Cans here, once again, is mental. Oh my God, their thoughts. Okay, this is unusual. There's anxiety here, and there is an inability to communicate from your person, and this is a really strong feeling in this pile. You're coming across as a lot more free and breezy. There's a lot of restriction, there's a lot of tension from them in how they communicate. This person may be extremely good in connecting in work situations. This person may hold a position in life where it's not really picked up that much, because they tend to keep a lot of their conversations to do with work or money or outside situations that don't involve emotions. As soon as emotions come into this situation, this person panics. Really, really strong feeling. There's anxiety, there's a need to pull back, they want clarity, they don't know what to do. You're coming across here as the Chariot and the Sun, which is free and easy, open and breezy. They're coming across as judgment, and the Ten of Swords next to the Eight of Swords is like a complete desperation to be something that they're not in this meeting. And what they've wanted to do is to tell you that they're not that good at communicating, and that when it comes to emotions, they can't verbalize it. The Sister of Spray Cans here is like, this card in particular is almost like it feels like almost like a begging card of, please don't lose contact with me. Text me, because I can express myself in different ways, but I know I didn't say it. It feels like somebody that's panicked in front of you. It feels that somebody possibly may have some slight social anxiety here. It's not slight, it's big, but I'm just trying to make it a little bit milder for people who this may not resonate with. they want desperately to be more like you, to be more like your sun, to be more like your chariot, to be able to talk freely, to be able to have passion in what you're saying, and to be able to express yourself very easily, and to do it in a very sort of clear, childlike, fun way. And what they're doing is they are taking on all the Saturn, all the 10th house, all the Four of Pentacles. They are probably being the very stable person, that they're extremely good and extremely useful in a work situation. With the Judgment and the Ten of Swords, though, they can't actually shift that to meet you halfway for the Chariot and the Sun. And then what you've got in what are feelings here in the middle, they're not sexual feelings like pile 1 and pile 2. They're struggling feelings. They're feelings where they want to tell you something because they can't express it physically. You know, this could also be, you know, depending on your scenario, it could be a difficult sexual encounter, you know, where it just didn't work out and there's a feeling of shame there. There is a possibility in this pile. You know, and when I'm saying shame, have you seen the film with Michael Fassbender when he actually falls in love with somebody? He actually has feelings. He's like got sexual addiction. He has feelings for one particular woman, and it all goes wrong. And this is what this feels like. But you've got to take, you know, like snippets of it or a certain degree of it. But that is probably, you know, if it feels like that, this is it, because that is a, you know, a possibility in this. And what they would want to say to you is like, you've got the Death card, you've got the Sister of Spray Cans, which is the Queen of Swords, and you've got the Seven of Buckets. It's almost like they want to tell you and they don't know how to do it, and the situation may have ended anyway, that their insecurities and their restrictions in life are something that they're possibly struggling with, and they would like to communicate with you, but that wasn't the correct time. You know, they were caught on the hop possibly, and it was extremely awkward. It doesn't have to be as big as, you know, as a sexual encounter that went wrong. It doesn't have to be that big. It could be, you know, when you meet someone in the supermarket, you know, that feeling, regardless of how outgoing you're feeling on that day, you meet someone in the supermarket, you like them, you both get on well, absolutely nothing to say. And it feels really awkward. So you're looking in their basket saying, oh, nice cornflakes. That it could just be that, but it has a feeling of restriction and uncomfortableness, and this person's sweating afterwards and thinking, oh my god, if I'd been a little bit more relaxed, you know. So it could have different degrees depending on each person there. And they've almost, you know, the Death card there at the end, and the Judgment, and their thoughts here are like, oh god, I didn't want to see that person now, you know, I wanted it to be the right moment, I wanted to be able to talk freely, and here I am with Pampers and gin in my shopping basket. Pampers and gin sounds fine. Yeah, so it's just, to me, it's anxiety. It's anxiety, but I don't know the actual situation, but I feel like you've come better off out of it. So to sum that up, pile number 3, their thoughts are, I wish I could be you. As soon as they've met you, I wish I could be you. You seem to be doing this really easy. I actually want to run. I feel as if it's the end of me by just talking to you. So there is definitely some sort of turmoil going, some inner turmoil here. This is somebody who's extremely good at restricting themselves and showing up in work and being very much in control, and they don't feel it. As soon as they've met you, they've been out of it. It feels like one of those sessions where you're actually choking because you can't talk to somebody, you know, that supermarket session. It is that. And the Ace of Swords and the Two of Wands and the Eight of Swords for feelings are, I'm guessing, wanting things to be clear, but to be honest, they want to be behind the bean cans. There is a feeling of panic here, of not being able to express themselves clearly. So what they wish they'd actually said is, I'm sorry, I couldn't express myself. You know, sometimes I find some parts of my life quite easy, but revealing my feelings and communicating at times is difficult. And I felt awful since this happened. And the Sister of Spray comes there with the phone is, let me just say, I was going to say a bit of advice is it's easier for me to communicate in different ways. You know, if I'm caught on the hop, it's not very easy. If I'm out of my familiar situation, it's not very easy. Yeah, advice is the Empress card there. It's basically to be kind. It's basically to be kind, and you know, you've got to be the Venus amongst this man or this woman Saturn. You've got to be the one that's gentle, you know, with your timing and your giving of yourself in some way. Right, I'm going to leave that there, pile number 3. I hope that helps in some way. And I feel quite sorry for your person, because it, you know, you all feel like that sometimes, don't we? Right, I'm going to go. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye.